Welcome back, guys. I trust you are staying safe. Now, the soldier whom you saw firing gunshots into the air is called Wilson Sabiiti, and he was the soldier assigned as one of the personal bodyguards of a minister in the African country of Uganda. For some reason, Wilson Sabiiti decided that he was going to turn around and aim his gun at the minister he had been assigned to protect. What led to this, and what was the outcome of this issue? This true crime story is going to unravel the mystery around why the man who has been assigned by the state to protect one of its key officials decided that instead of performing that duty, he was rather going to be the person to end the life of this minister. Was he successful or not? And what happened to him afterwards? If you are ready for this true crime story, then you know what to do. Just buckle up and let's go. So, before we get into the video, hit the subscribe button if you are not subscribed to this channel and turn on post notifications, and please leave a comment in the comment section, just extending your condolence to the lives lost and the family members who survived. Now, to the substantive case. May 2023 is the date, and a minister in Uganda who has been assigned a bodyguard to protect him has been working with this bodyguard and other fellow bodyguards for a number of months into years. He was comfortable around them and he knew that he was safe because, of course, they are protecting him. Thus, the name bodyguards. So, this minister was the Minister of State for Labor and Employment and Industrial Relations, and he was called Colonel Retired Charles Okello Ngola. Now, it is not clear at what point the relationship went sour, but then, at a point in time, one of the bodyguards who had been assigned to protect Minister Charles Okello Ngola was beginning to have second thoughts. So, this story is still ongoing. Although the tragedy has already happened, an investigation is ongoing by the Police Service of Uganda to get to the bottom of the issue. Because for me, at the end of this video, I'm going to put out some questions which are baffling me, and to date, clear answers are yet to come out in addressing these questions. So, on this fateful day in May 2023, one of the bodyguards assigned to protect this minister, by name Wilson Sabiiti, was on duty. And as per the normal routine, he was at the premises of the minister's house. So this minister was preparing to step out, and so these bodyguards had taken their position. Now, out of nowhere, and seemingly without provocation, instantaneously, the bodyguard by name Wilson Sabiiti decided to turn on his minister whom he is to protect and then open fire on him. He shot him severally, and the minister collapsed by the vehicle he was about to board. It didn't end there. Wilson Sabiiti went on a rampage because at this point the driver bolted and people around just took to their heels. But surprisingly, he didn't go after any of them, nor did he try to gun down any of them. Instead, he took his weapon and then he stepped out of the house and started opening fire and shooting off several rounds into the air whilst walking around and talking to himself on a very, very high tone. Some of the things he was saying depicted that he may have been suffering from a form of depression, but key amongst these things that he was saying included statements which were seeming to suggest that he was expecting some form of monetary payment from the minister which was due but had not manifested. And it turns out later that Wilson Sabiiti, the bodyguard, was actually facing a lot of financial challenges. Apparently, his two wives had left him, and he had all his kids from these two wives with him, whom he had left with his mom. So you can tell that he was in a lot of financial issues. But notwithstanding, he was specifically saying that the minister needed to pay him some money which he hadn't paid him yet, and that he was struggling. So I don't know. One theory out there is maybe the minister owed him money and he was not forthcoming in paying. So Sabiiti just went off the chain and decided to take him out because he was seeing in real time the life of affluence that this minister was living, and he was reduced to the person protecting him for him to be safe to enjoy that life of affluence when he is in dire need of finances and is lacking to the extent that it's affecting his family. That is one school of thought out there. The other school of thought, which also makes very, very good sense, is that it's not the minister who is to pay the soldiers' salary. It's rather the military, specifically the unit to which this soldier belongs to. So how can the minister owe him? But then there is a third theory which seeks to counter the second theory that yes, it's the soldier who would have to be paid by his military unit. So is it not suspicious that he is saying the minister owes him some money? What money did the minister owe him? And as a matter of fact, what did he do to warrant the payment or the minister having to come to owe him that amount of money, if that's true? These are very critical questions. And these are the questions I have. Which was which? The military has since come out to say that the minister is not the one supposed to pay this soldier, and that it's the military that's supposed to pay him. So that point has been clearly outlined by the military. But it still leaves the question that if Uganda's military, by name the Uganda People's Defense Forces, that's the UPDF, are the ones supposed to pay Wilson Sabiiti, where was the money? But aside that, then why was Wilson Sabiiti, the bodyguard, so furious with the minister that he decided to take his anger out on him and his frustrations out on him and take his life? It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't add up. There are missing links in there. I'm hoping that the police investigations will unravel this. But this story didn't end there actually, because after Wilson Sabiiti turned on the minister and took his life, he went on the rampage, shooting into the air and yelling out his frustrations. And eventually Wilson Sabiiti entered someone's salon, and there he turned the gun on himself and took his own life. So my final question is, what is the actual truth in this issue, and how do we really ascertain this or get something to corroborate whatever investigation outcome will be put out? Because the two key people who are at the center of this issue and could have been interrogated or interviewed to gain some truth or a semblance of it are all dead. These two people are the minister and then the bodyguard. They are all dead. So how do we know what was actually going on? Because to me, the whole thing doesn't make sense. Wilson Sabiiti has been on the force for a long time, so it's not like he just joined and he got unhinged, or he was unhinged and he just joined and he couldn't handle the pressure. There's something else, or there's the possibility of there being something else that set him off, and he was talking about outstanding payments, whilst the military is also saying that there are no outstanding payments. And I'm sure, being on the force for that long, Wilson Sabiiti knows who pays his salary. So if it's truly the military that pays his salary, then he would know, in which case he cannot turn around and start blaming the minister for not paying him a sum of money. So maybe, just maybe, the issue is not having to do with salary, but maybe money with regards to something totally different from salary. I'm just saying. But this is what has happened. The minister lost his life at the hands of the same man who was appointed by the country to protect his life. And after that, Wilson Sabiiti, the bodyguard, also turned the gun on himself. It still got worse, because after all this, some of the citizens are beginning to hail Wilson Sabiiti as a hero. I don't understand it. No matter whatever reservations some people may have had about the minister, if any, I don't think somebody deciding to take his life is of equal measure with regards to a solution that you needed, with regards to whatever those reservations are. But a section of the Ugandan society seems to think Sabiiti is a hero. I don't agree. And to make matters worse for Sabiiti, the Ugandan People's Defense Forces, that's the UPDF, and that's the military of Uganda, have said that they are not going to bury Wilson Sabiiti. So he is not going to get the 21-gun salute that is befitting for him as a soldier of that force. So he is going to be buried by his family, most likely, as a normal citizen. And even with that, don't forget he was already facing financial issues. So it means that his family may not be in a position to even give him a very befitting burial. And it goes back to the people of Uganda too, because then again, some benevolent, in quotes, people of Uganda have also started running a fundraising, to facilitate the funeral and burial of the bodyguard, Wilson Sabiiti. This story is so twisted. And I feel like we could have gotten to know more about the root cause of this issue if at least one of the victims were alive. But unfortunately, they are all dead. What do you take from this? And strangely enough, after this incident, people who have bodyguards, in a funny way, are alleged to be looking at their welfare now and considering things they can do to make their bodyguards more comfortable and feel happier than they are at the moment. There's a saying here in Africa that a word to the wise is enough. So I'll leave it there. But leave your comments in the comment section. What do you think was the main reason why this bodyguard took the life of the minister he was assigned to protect? Do you think there is more to it? And if you do, let me know what you think it possibly could have been. Until then, like I've been saying, these things can come from anywhere. This time around, it's coming from the man's own bodyguard. His own bodyguard. You know, it can come from anywhere. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications button, share the video with your loved ones, leave a comment in the comment section, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. We appreciate your support. Until then, stay safe out there and keep an eye out.